just want to say that every time I see this, I just think racist. And it's really sad because I don't want to think that. Have a great day, guys.
Sliding out though and having a look. Seattle dog making a move. That's a block, Townsend. That's absolutely a block.
That is a dirty wiener. I don't think I can endorse that kind of behavior.
They were buns to buns.
Welcome back to our final broadcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Vietnam, how are you? I'm Rabbi Dave, and I'm having a hell of a morning.
Good morning. Guess America, because you haven't done that yet. So I'm Friar.
I said that wrong, didn't I?
You did.
Jobu sang Vietnam.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I'm saying that. You can probably guess what it is, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Because that's what we do. Sorry, I just need to calm down.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
You guys don't see the pre-show stuff that's going on. And I've been talking about buying a new computer for how long now? And this computer, I don't know what it is. Every time I start Zoom on a Sunday morning, it never happens on a Tuesday.
It's just Sunday.
It's just Sunday, and everything just locks up. And I can't even Control-Alt-Delete out of it. It just freezes. Not that
is it related to this meeting?
I have no idea. It's the same meeting room, so
okay. All right, so that shouldn't.
I don't know. Anyway,
It's me.
Could very well be. It was Microsoft Edge, but I think I solved that problem. So right. I just can't bring myself to pull the trigger on a new computer because I run into this. Well, what if it doesn't solve the problem? Mindset, which is why I have all of these things over here that I thought would solve the problem but didn't.
Yeah.
So it's the sunk cost fallacy. I'm $600 into trying to solve a problem that I could have just bought a new computer for $1,000 for and maybe who knows.
Yeah. Have you reloaded Windows yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
It's too complicated.
Well, yeah, but you know what? That saves you the cost of a new computer if it works, right?
If it works.
It's only time. It's only time now.
And there's the possibility that not only will it not work, it might make things worse.
Well, so wait till after Tuesday.
All right, let's get to it. Has humanity finally crossed the line where nobody can tell if a politician actually said something or if a teenager in a basement made it in 12 seconds using AI?
Well, I don't know.
It's a real possibility now, isn't it?
It is. But, isn't over half of medieval history kind of made up too?
Well, at least 300 years of it. That's what they say. Have you seen that theory?
I haven't seen the theory.
Okay, so there's this theory that one of the Holy Roman emperors was obsessed with being the ruler in the millennial 1000. Okay?
Yeah.
So he got together with the Pope, and they just made up 300 years worth of history, because apparently this guy was a king in the 700s.
Okay.
So that he could be the king in the year 1000. And that this entire 300-year history of the Dark Ages is just made up. Didn't happen. And that we're actually living in the year 1726, not 2026. Which would be kind of cool for me, but...
So was it really real?
Well, I mean, obviously this theory is completely wackadoodle, but in the era of AI, when people could make a video that they could slap on YouTube real quick or on Reels, explaining how this happened, how many people do you think would buy it? I mean, obviously there are some people who already buy it, but medieval history is kind of that way. But in today's politics, in today's world, we have reached the point now where politics has almost become entertainment infrastructure, hasn't it?
I guess in a way, yeah.
Donald Trump, again, this is not politics here. I don't care if you like Trump or hate Trump. He's a fact, and you have to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump has mastered the internet from a political standpoint.
Yeah.
And particularly trolling from an internet standpoint. He was good at this long before anybody else really figured it out.
Well, even mastering media and basically controlling narratives by just saying some outlandish things.
Right.
And forcing people to react.
But he's a TV guy, so he would know that.
Yeah.
He knows how to do that stuff. Entertainers do. But he's gone beyond that now. He has adapted to the AI world faster and perhaps better than anyone else. Now, this came to head this week because this weekend was Stephen Colbert's final show, which surprises no one. A show that's losing, what was it, $40 million a year?
Yeah.
Was losing, with a staff of nearly 200 people to produce that show.
That's insane.
There's your first problem right there. You're paying him $15 million, you're losing $40 million, and you have a staff of 200 to produce a show that literally no one in meaningful terms is watching.
And yet it's Donald Trump's fault for him losing his job.
Right.
At
Which
CBS.
is what brings us to this. $15 million they're paying him, staff of 200, nobody watching, and in literally less than an hour, Donald Trump creates this AI video where Colbert is standing on the stage, even sounds like him, says, "Welcome back to our final show," and Donald Trump walks out, picks him up by the scruff of the neck, and throws him into a green dumpster that just happens to be on stage, and then starts the Trump dance. YMCA. It's awesome. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And yet,
it's the funniest thing on Colbert.
It certainly is that. And yet, it's AI generated. This didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
But the reaction to it certainly has happened, and that is entertaining in itself. I'm not making this up. Who was it? Newsweek? I sent you guys the picture of it, and was it Newsweek or was it Time? I don't remember. Some news organization, posted their story. It was Newsweek. Posted a story on Google. You ready? I got it right here.
Okay.
Donald Trump posts doctored video throwing Stephen Colbert into a dumpster.
Doctored video.
Did they actually think that this might have actually happened and that Trump actually doctored a video? Do they not understand how AI video generation works?
Obviously not.
This was incredible. And the reaction to it has been just amazing. It's a doctored video. No shit. It's a completely fake video. And everybody watching it knows that didn't happen, except that because nobody actually watches the show, they watch the clips of the show later on. And what do they see? They see a clip of Donald Trump coming out throwing Colbert into the garbage
and it looks
can.
real.
And it looks real. And what do they think? And so Newsweek and others have to say, well, that was doctored, as if somehow or another he spliced it together.
You know how long that would take?
Well,
that would take a team.
If you got 200 people on your staff and you're paying $40 million a year, I guess it's.
Or you could have Grok.
Or you could have Grok. Exactly. Extend from frame. It's incredible to see this, but here's the problem with that. It does look fairly realistic. Now, obviously, if you know AI, on first glance, it looks great. On third, fourth, fifth glance, you start noticing the little things in it. Somebody around here, there's a Washington history site that loves to take old photographs and upscale them using AI. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever done that, you know that AI upscales are interesting, but you might want to check your text before you post it.
Yes.
And this person does not. Okay. And so these upscale photographs are clearly AI upscaled because the text is all wrong. So you can figure these things out. You can notice these things.
Well, the people probably have, an extra digit here and there.
Yeah, well, there is that. So, but it has become ubiquitous now. And is it just me, or are we back to we used to say the left can't meme. Now are we saying the left can't AI?
I think it starts with the whole premise, Dave, that they just don't have a sense of humor.
Could be that. Could be that simple. Because they really don't. And even Bill Maher recognizes the fact that they don't have a sense of humor. Yeah. It's there. But where else we're also seeing this, not just in the Trump-Colbert thing. I don't know if anybody outside of California cares or pays attention, but the Los Angeles mayoral race has become a flood of AI-generated videos by one candidate, a guy by the name of Spencer Pratt, who apparently was a reality TV star years ago.
Because he's married to Heidi Montag. And if you've seen them, you know who I'm talking about.
Right. I know who Heidi Montag is. Had no clue who Spencer Pratt was before all this. Didn't care. Don't watch reality television. There's actually an article on the web this morning about, is it the model show? Who's the model that runs the show?
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks. And her show, it's all fake because she doesn't really care about, nobody on the show really cares about the girls that are models. They're just trying to create drama.
Wait,
well, again,
they're supposed to care? What?
It's reality TV, which is the one thing it is TV.
Storage Wars was fake, right?
The one thing it is TV. The one thing it is not is reality. So anyway, apparently this guy was a reality TV show star years ago. I don't know. I don't watch. The only reality TV I watch is what I'm forced to watch by my wife, usually on Sunday nights, which is the Sister Wives thing. Which I do find.
So she hasn't got on to Lower Decks yet.
No. Which I do find somewhat fascinating because, again, I am kind of from Utah and there's some interest.
Would you have more than one wife, Dave?
Oh, God, no. I mean, at a time, you mean? I mean, I've had two. But
yeah, no, at the same time.
No, God, no. Do you not watch these shows? Do you not?
I don't.
What was the show? Big Love with Bill Paxton? I mean, Jesus, it got him killed. So, no, I would not do that. I can't keep one woman happy. How am I supposed to keep 3, 2, 3, 7?
Maybe it's just a diversion at that point. Maybe they just go argue with each other. Just leave me alone.
You got to build each one of them a separate house.
I just know who's.
You know what it took me for me to get one house?
In bed tonight.
Do you know what it took for me to get one house? How the hell am I supposed to build 3?
Well, they're supposed to be working. They're not all stay at home. That's
you don't watch these shows, do you?
No.
No, he does not. Anyway, Spencer Pratt, reality TV show, running for mayor of Los Angeles. Because Los Angeles, much like San Francisco, has become a complete cesspool. I mean, it just is. And so the blame, of course, at Mayor Karen Bass and these Pratt ads, which are all AI generated, are fantastic.
Yeah. Well, bear in mind that his motivation is his house burned down.
Right. His house was burned down because Karen Bass was in Nigeria or wherever.
And they haven't rebuilt it yet.
Nope. And they're
because
not going.
LA doesn't want you to.
No, they much like Hawaii, they want that land for other things. So he's pissed off about this. So he's running for mayor, and he's running these viral AI ads, which are hard hitting. I mean, they really are. He's not backing away from anything.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that's upsetting people. Because they're AI generated, they are essentially, not completely, because you still have to have a Grok account and all that, but on a cost basis, the idea of producing an AI ad for a political candidate versus producing an actual, Karen Bass type ad is massive. You don't have to have the staff. You don't have to have the cameraman. You don't have to have the sound text. You don't have to have the editing. You don't have to have the script writer. You don't have to pay a PR agency. None of that.
Yeah.
So Pratt is essentially getting free publicity. And because these videos are going viral, they are upsetting the balance of things. And Karen Pratt has even taken notice of this. The attempts to counter these ads have been, I don't want to say pathetic, but they have backfired in every case.
Yeah, they've actually benefited his run, have they not?
Yes. The union, the firefighters union, did a fully produced ad explaining that these things that Pratt wants, and they sound just like his ads. They're like, yeah, there was a person that said that the hit piece on Pratt makes me want to vote for him more.
Yeah. So
it's upsetting these things. It's upsetting these ideas that this is how a political campaign is run. These TV ads are expensive. They're slow. They're difficult to produce. They're difficult to get right. If you don't believe me, ask what's the gal's name that's running for governor? God, lost her name. The crazy woman, Karen. Not Karen.
Which governor?
Get California. Get out of my shot. Get out of my shot.
Oh, Katie Porter?
Katie Porter, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't think that TV ads are easy to shoot? Just ask her. I mean, her entire life right now is defined by one person wandering into her shot, which was awesome. But the entire format of this stuff is going to change. And this is what's remarkable to me. It's not just the effectiveness of it. Now, whether Pratt's ads are actually effective or not is debatable. That will be interesting to see, because while they're getting a lot of national attention, how much effect are they actually having on the voters in Los Angeles, who are hardcore left Democrats anyway? So
are these ads playing on TV, or is it just social media?
Just social media.
Yeah.
They are, and again, go back to the Colbert question. Who's watching TV anyway? TV viewing, I mean, how do you target that now? When there were 4 networks, you could go, okay, this demographic watches this show, this demographic watches this show, so forth and so on.
And you could target.
You can't do that anymore. No. I mean, depending on what you watch, and how many people are buying Hulu without ads because they don't want to watch them anyway, or even worse, they're DVRing stuff and just scrolling through them.
Yeah.
Hello, iHeart. Nobody's listening to ads on podcasts. Stop running ads saying that they are. Anyway, so it raises questions now, because I can tell you in the radio biz, political season is when we made money. Mm-hmm. Hand over foot. In non-political season, my 3-hour show would have somewhere between 2 hours and 2 hours and 20 minutes of actual content. Me, guest, whatever. During political season, especially that last week before a major, like a general election, that last week, we'd be lucky to get an hour and 10 minutes worth. Because we were a local show, because we didn't have a set clock like you would have with a national show, they would just run ads into what we were doing. I mean, they would just pack them in because that's where you make the money.
Yeah.
Now, TV, I don't know necessarily that they use the same system, but that's when they're making their money, because they're selling these political ads. They're selling this. What happens when that revenue dries up? Because why pay some TV producer, some ad agency to do this when I can just sit down in front of Grok for 20 minutes, get the prompt right, extend from frame, and I've got a hard-hitting political ad that actually says what I want it to say.
Yeah.
Do they start losing money?
They do.
Do the ad agencies start losing money?
Well, the ad agencies should start using AI if they have not.
It should, but now we're replacing people with AI again, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't need, well, now I no longer need a cameraman. I no longer need a sound guy. I no longer need a script writer because
I need a photo. That's it.
That's it. A reference image. Use this reference image and do this. You don't think so? This is what happens when this stuff begins to take hold. Unless you think that it's just politics, it's affecting everything. HR departments. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about this because I was an HR manager for 20 years. I hated it. I want to be clear about this. It was a secondary duty. I was the manager of the HR department that didn't have an HR head, so I was it. Mm-hmm. Hated it. Absolutely. Employees are the worst. Yeah. I mean, they're your most important asset. But believe me, they're the worst. I had a guy come to my office one day because he was pissed off, and he got shorted 2 days pay, part-time employee in California, so he doesn't get holiday pay. And his manager came with me, and they were all angry and apologetic at the same time because he's missing 2 days of pay on his paycheck. I guarantee you he was here last Thursday and Friday, he said. So that's weird because nobody else was on Thanksgiving and the day after. Employees are the worst. Anyway, they fired this entire AI department, which again, I'm like, because why use a person to do all this stuff when you could just scan it in and let AI handle it?
Yeah.
My wife was complaining to me the other day because kids are having problems getting jobs. You never even get an interview anymore. Well, are you applying for a job that AI can do? Because if you are, you're going to have to really show something special. If you're applying for a job as a plumber or a street sweeper or a garbage man, maybe not so much.
No, or look for companies that are old school mentality. That there's a lot of government jobs. At the district where I work, we don't do a lot with AI. We do some, but
now, 10 years from now, who knows? There's a video out of, I want to say Vietnam, but hi Vietnam, how are you today? There's a video out of Vietnam where I guess they're putting cameras on workers, factory workers, and tracking how they put things together, how they make whatever it is that they're making, because they're going to teach the robots to do that. So even that, I can see a time where you got self-driving trucks. Most of these trucks around here have a crane thing that moves out.
Yeah.
And I can see a self-driving truck pulling up to my garbage can, loading it up. Doesn't need a person at all. Right?
Well, they'll keep a person in it just for, emergencies, but
will they?
But they won't pay them the same.
No, they're not going to pay them what the union's getting them paid. So the other day, it's graduation season, in case you didn't know this. People are graduating from colleges, where 4 years ago they started, and in 4 years the world has changed with AI. And so now they have these, well, they always were useless degrees, but now they have these even more useless degrees because, frankly, we really don't need AI to do anthropology anymore, or people to do anthropology anymore, because AI can do it faster and quicker and write the papers and publish them, and it makes you wonder, right? So he's the former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, or is he the current CEO? I'm not sure if he's current or former.
Recall.
He goes to one of these colleges and he gives this speech. Now imagine this. You're standing up in front of people who are graduating, some of them probably close to $500,000 in debt now.
Yeah.
And he says this.
So today we stand on this edge of another technological transformation, one that will be larger, faster, and more consequential than what came before. It will touch every profession, every classroom, every hospital, every laboratory, every person, and every relationship you have. I know what many of you are feeling about that. I can hear you. There is a fear, but I want to say something to you this evening as clearly as I can. To speak of the future as though it has already been decided is to surrender the one thing that actually matters. You are surrendering your agency. The future does not simply arrive, it gets built.
That's the CEO of Google, who is hell-bent on replacing basically everybody in that audience, and they essentially boot him off the stage.
Yeah.
His entire speech lasted about 3 minutes because it was that kind of thing. So what do you say to these people? What do you say to the political elites who are so used to doing things a certain way that the paradigm has shifted now? And you go through all the hassle of putting together this media campaign that's going to be on shows like Colbert that nobody's actually watching, and along comes your opponent who actually knows how to use AI, actually knows how to use a computer. He's producing ads way fast. He can produce, how many of these could you do in a day if you really set your mind to it? 20? 30?
Yeah, probably.
You could do it very quickly. And because you're already going viral out there, and, there's some tricks and stuff to do that, your entire media campaign that you just spent $1 million on has been upended already. Mm-hmm. Left, right, indifferent, it doesn't matter. The old political machine bought airtime. The new political machine buys attention. Those are not the same thing.
They are not.
And yet, which one actually gets the votes? That's the real question, isn't it? And at the end of the day, I think we all actually know the answer to that. But it will be interesting to watch the LA race. Welcome back. I'm Dave.
I'm Rod.
So, I guess in all of this discussion, and we're still kind of focusing on this idea here, are people going to believe the AI videos? Are they going to believe it would be easy to say, well, but the AI is fake, as Newsweek put it, doctored. Mm-hmm. But the political ad itself is probably false, too. It's probably, can you imagine Karen Bass running an ad telling you what a great job she's doing as a mayor? AOC? I mean, come on.
Sure. There's a lot of lies that happen during a political season.
So what's the diff? I guess would be the question. Human beings, how do we know what they're going to believe? And therein, oh, good Lord, does that raise some questions? How do we know what we're going to believe? I saw it on the internet. Must be true.
Flat Earth, moon landing, birds aren't real.
The picture behind Rod's head. Where's all the clouds, dude?
Yeah. I don't know.
Human beings don't necessarily believe things because they are true. They believe things because that belief provides meaning, it provides identity, comfort, structure, or even a tribal association, right? We don't necessarily believe things because they're automatically true. A couple of weeks ago, I was reading something online and it piqued my attention. Most of you will know that I was a huge fan of The Big Bang Theory when it was on TV.
Yeah.
John used to mercilessly razz me about that, but John didn't grow up as a nerd, so he didn't have my viewpoint of that. I really enjoyed that show. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was funny. I thought it was poignant. But I never watched Young Sheldon because I just didn't have any interest in it. But then I started reading this article, and I thought, I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm 3 seasons into the TV show Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
And it's better than The Big Bang Theory.
Is it?
I mean, it really is. It's all of those things, and yet it has this real feel to it that just as someone who grew up in a strongly religious family and questioning those, it really speaks to me. It really does. And I'm not saying you should watch it. What I'm saying is, because I also started watching Battlestar Galactica, which I don't have quite the same feelings about. But the bottom line is, you're dealing with this kid who's questioning things about why people believe things that seem strange. Mm-hmm. And he keeps asking questions, and he's not getting these whole things. And the article this week about astrology. Why do people believe it? No. Okay, now I know that sounds like a strange question to ask, but why do people believe in astrology?
Well, I think some of it is comfort, but I think also because people desperately want the universe to text them back, right? They want some form of meaning, right?
Right. Well, astrology, of course, goes back to before the Middle Ages, before the missing 300 years. They were doing astrology long before that, all the way back into biblical times, right? You had the soothsayers and the seers and Joseph interpreting dreams and that kind of stuff. So it has very ancient roots because people watch the stars and they want this cosmos. What's that?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, yes. You mean it's not just rocks thrown in? Anyway, they want a cosmic order. There's this human necessity to explain disorder or uncertainty. Yeah. Now, the question that hit me as I was watching the TV show and as I was going through this AI stuff, does astrology function psychologically as a religion?
I think to an extent it does.
Okay, it has rituals.
Yeah.
I've told you in the past about my journey to San Francisco with the witch doctor for my friend. But how many people, this is Carl Sagan right here, how many people pick up the New York Times and the New York Post and go immediately to the astrology page to see what they're going to learn, what's going to happen to me today, or what do I need to do? And
there's a lot of cultures that depend on it. Chinese culture has their own Chinese astrology.
Right. And of course, you don't go to newspapers now. Now you log on to websites. But how many people who do these rituals, are looking at more than just one? Well, this one got it right one time, so that's why I trust it. We don't have Miss Cleo anymore, so there are symbols.
I mean, who really bases their life off a fortune cookie?
Me, but just having the fortune cookie is what I base my life.
Okay, not the actual.
I like fortune cookies. There, yeah. I have a fortune that's taped to my board. It's right below my fader. This is my favorite fortune that I ever got, and it says, "Proceed with confidence, Panda Express."
Well, there you go.
And I don't know. It just sort of spoke to me about what I do and those kind of things. And so sometimes.
So is that really a fortune, or is that just some wisdom?
No, it's not. But it's taped to my board. I can tell you that. It's taped right there under my faders. So every time I reach down to my faders, what do I see? I see, proceed with confidence. So there you go. There are symbols involved with this. There's identity. There's a sense of community. You ever talk to people that actually believe this stuff and how they sort of clump together almost gravitationally? It's like they all know each other. And it does seem to give some moral / emotional guidance, I guess. It's easy to say astrology is nonsense. And scientifically, it is. You're not going to get me to go any other way. But genuine faith traditions that have questions about them as well make historical and moral claims as well.
Yeah.
Religion involves covenant, it involves ethics, sacrifice, discipline, and so does astrology. If you're, one of those people that are actually following it. But it's largely therapeutic personalization, isn't it? Which in many ways, so is faith. Sometimes I wonder about those things.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely an emotional aspect to faith, especially in the evangelical church, that I've found over the years. You see that a lot in their worship music, is a lot about some of its introspective and how they're feeling and all this other stuff that goes along with that.
Not to mention repetitive.
Yeah.
Religion demands submission to something greater than the self. Astrology reassures the self that, you're doing great, whether it's horoscopes or crystals or
You'll have an opportunity to meet someone new today. Oh, well, thank you very much.
I'm manifesting that I'm going to meet someone new today, so I'll have a second wife at the same time. Or the universe wants you to do something. Now, again, I experienced this in standard religion as well with, God told me that he wants you to do something. Or God is moving your spirit to do this or whatever. No, he wasn't. But it's also very personalized. Now, we can easily reject this. We can reject organized religion, but we tend to build religion from our spare parts anyway, don't we?
Well, people left the church and then immediately invented moon water, right?
Moon water? I don't even know what that is. Well, I guess it's the idea, right?
It's the idea is that they leave the church because it doesn't meet with what they're feeling or what they're thinking.
Okay. And I certainly understand that. I have been in religious situations where I've gone and I thought, these people are crazy.
Yeah.
I'll share one with you, which was I don't know how to explain it, but there was a person there that was dying of cancer, and everyone knew that she was dying of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
She was on her last legs. Okay? So we're having one of those potluck things, and this person dying of cancer stands up and announces, well, today the Spirit has given me the gift of healing. So if you need healing, come see me and I will touch you, and you will be healed. And my immediate first thought was,
look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Heal thyself.
Heal thyself.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the last time I went. Anyway, let's tie this back to this idea, even in faith right now.
Mm-hmm.
AI could generate your personalized horoscopes if you're an astrology person. It could generate synthetic spiritual gurus. I read an article this morning from Wired Magazine about asexuals using AI to create intimacy without sex. If it can create it could do your spiritual guru to give you some advice, right?
I guess.
It could produce fake mystical experiences. What if an AI generation, what if somebody generates a video and sends it to you and says, this is your message from God today?
What if the AI tells you to take DMT and you take DMT and hallucinate, but the AI told you?
Well, that raises some interesting queries, does it not? We joke about it, but could AI how many times did we talk about AI writing sermons?
They still do. There's
do.
Probably a lot more of that happening now.
I guarantee you there's probably a better than 50-50 chance that your pastor this week, who is stressed beyond belief, he's got this going on, he's got that going on, he's got his family at home, he's got this going on. Hey, I need an outline for a sermon on John 8:26.
Yeah.
Bing! There it is. And maybe because he went to seminary, or maybe he knows enough to look at the outline and go, okay, well, this will work or this won't work, or modify this or whatever. But Maybe he doesn't.
Or just speak temporarily from the outline itself that it generated.
And it's possible that they don't have enough knowledge to actually do that. Maybe at that point they just say, print it all out for me.
Yeah.
You don't think that happens? I guarantee it happens. I can't tell you how many times long before the advent of AI, I sat through sermons where, well, let's just say theologically, they were on uncertain ground. Quote, the word testament means, or the word testament means covenant. So since we have the New Testament, the New Covenant, we don't really need the Old Testament, Old Covenant. So I don't even know why we need it. Unquote.
Yeah.
From the pulpit.
That's not good.
No, it's not. And that was long before AI. Now you've got AI kicking into all this stuff, writing these sermon outlines, writing these things for these people, and how will you know? And when you challenge them on it, if you challenge them on it, which is one of the things I love about young Sheldon, is he has no problem raising his hand in church during the middle of the sermon and say, wait a minute. You said this first, now you're saying that. Which is it? Because believe me, I've been there. But when your dad's the preacher, you don't raise your hand and interrupt your dad because that's a problem. I wish I had, though. Looking back at it, I wish I had raised my hand and said, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. But I don't know that it would have accomplished anything. But nowadays...
you maybe a spanking or something, right? There's the fear of reprisal at home where no one else can see.
Yeah. But now AI can do that, and if you are challenging your spiritual leader, what's their response going to be? If someone says, hey, that's wrong, what's your response to it? If you AI generated it, what's your response going to be? Sorry, the computer messed it up.
Yeah. The dog ate my homework.
How likely is it that those same people are going to be sitting in your congregation the next week? Because why do they need you when they could just subscribe to whatever they get monthly and read it then? Welcome back. I'm Dave.
I am Rod.
Continuing with our theme of the day, which is how AI technology is changing things. Hopefully in an entertaining and useful way, and with the assurance that we are, in fact, real. We are not AI. Well, not yet, anyway. I'll be honest with you. I've experimented with us as AI in the past. It didn't work as well as I'd hoped it would, but someday...
Not yet.
Who knows? You a fan of July 4th, Independence Day?
I am, yes.
I think it's my favorite holiday I love Independence Day because you used to get 3 baseball games on ESPN. Yeah. You get hot dogs, and it doesn't matter now because now I have MLB TV, so I get all of them. You get hot dogs, you get the day off, usually in the middle of the week, although this year it's on Saturdays, so you get a 3-day weekend. I always like that fact that, the uniform, what they call it, Uniform Holiday Act, where they move things like Memorial Day to the Monday instead of the actual day and blah, blah, blah. They never did that with July 4th. Independence Day is always July 4th, period.
Yeah.
And so you'd get these Tuesdays. You go to work on Monday, and it'd be like a Friday because you knew you were going to get the next day off. Tuesday was great.
No work gets done on those days, by the way.
No, it doesn't. Who cares? I never did. But even technology and AI is going to change how the 4th of July is, though. Because, of course, the big thing is the fireworks show.
Yeah.
Now, we, around here, because we have so many Indian casinos, the state of Washington does not allow the sale of the good fireworks. You can buy sparklers and whizzers and, the stuff that everybody hates.
Yeah.
But you can buy the good stuff 3 miles away at the Indian casino or at the Indian facility.
At the reservation.
Reservation, yeah, that's what I was trying to come up with. You can buy the good stuff there, bring it home. And supposedly it's against the law. Supposedly, I say, because theoretically, the police, they threaten us every year with this. The police are driving around, and if they find you launching these things, they're going to give you a ticket.
Yeah.
And then in the same next sentence, they'll tell us about how they're having to cut back on law enforcement because property taxes aren't high enough.
Yeah.
And they can't hire enough cops.
They'll have drones and AI soon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for the cops. Can you imagine police robots?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. It's RoboCop. Isn't it? Stop, creep.
Here is your citation.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the fireworks, in my 9 years here, we've never seen a police officer show up once. And believe me, we have made a neighborhood joy out of having Indian launch fireworks. I mean, it's fun.
We had a sheriff that was on medical leave, lived across the street from us, that was launching them.
Yeah. Because all the rules are stupid. But anyway, the city of Paulsbo, which is 5 miles up the road here.
Okay.
In fact, you could argue that technically I live in Paulsbo. My son went to the Paulsbo school district because literally my backyard, there's a green belt, and if you cross that green belt, you're technically in Paulsbo.
Okay. Is that the HOA green belt?
Yes.
Okay.
But our address is Silverdale, even though we're in the Paulsbo school district. So sometimes when people ask me where I am, and they say, "Where are you from?" and I say Silverdale, and they go, "Where's that?" I said, "Just right next to Paulsbo."
Okay.
Because Paulsbo's world famous. It's a Viking town, and Paulsbo bread and slices. Okay. Everybody's heard of Paulsbo. Willkommen till Paulsbo, says the sign. Everybody knows. Anyway, so Paulsbo, the city of Paulsbo, has decided that they've had enough of this fireworky stuff. They haven't had the shows they used to have the shows down on the waterfront. They're not going to do that anymore because, it's bad for the air. It's expensive. They can't get insurance, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So they are actually going to do a drone show this year.
Okay. Well, nothing says revolution like synchronized battery management with a whining noise attached.
Well, is that the approach, though? I mean, my initial reaction to this was not negative. My initial reaction to this was, I might actually go see that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what they can do with the drones now, though.
They did a Star Wars show somewhere. Was it in Korea a couple of weeks ago where they did Star Wars?
China's done some famous ones, too.
Didn't they do this at the Olympics where they had them up? And
do you remember watching Lord of the Rings and the whole fireworks show where the dragon came out and the dragon was flying at people? That they could do similar things like that with the drones now.
Okay. So I'm not necessarily against that. I don't think it's a bad... Look, as I've gotten older, I will be the first to admit that when I go outside on the 4th of July on Independence evening, I do wear hearing protection because it annoys me.
Okay.
Not to the point where I'm one of those people, one of those Karens that's complaining on Facebook about it because you know that they'll be there.
Yet.
But I am... No, I'm not going to do that. But I am one of those people that...
Complaints with Dad.
Yes. I have enough problems with tinnitus already that I just, and sometimes it actually hurts. I've actually sat through fireworks show that physically hurt because the compression. So I just, anyway, but these drones, I can handle a little buzzing. I mean, it's not gonna exceed my tinnitus anyway. So there's that. There is rising concern, although I don't know how much it actually matters. PTSD concerns. Some
Really?
Karen will always post around here about, there's a lot of veterans with PTSD and they hear these things going off. And in my world, all of the veterans are just rolling their eyes and get out of here.
If they know it's coming, they can usually go someplace where there won't be a trigger.
Right. Pets. I mean, there's always the issues with pets.
Yeah, it's harder with pets because you can keep them inside, but sometimes those things are too loud.
There's that. So I don't know. They're going to use 300 drones. Mm-hmm. They're going to use students to do this, which is okay. I think that's a good idea. But now
Are
we're
they
back.
really operated by students, or are they just programmed?
Well,
by students?
programmed, operated. I mean, maybe somebody has to push the button to make it go to the next whatever.
I don't think so. I think once they put the program in.
Well, but if the students write the program, isn't that?
Or they're using the students to go turn all the drones on.
Could be that too.
That's probably what they're doing.
But they're using AI to do it because believe me, all this coding and stuff that they're putting in these drones. I don't even own a drone. Ben and I were talking the other day about flying ultralights.
Yeah.
And how cool that would be. And both of us are kind of afraid of heights, so we're thinking, well, maybe we should just go get a drone. Spend a little money on a drone.
You get the first-person view with the goggles, and you're flying around, and then you're
that would be
motion sick from that.
Yeah, that's what I need. Terrified of heights, and I'd be up there going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna."
Dave, you're right here, standing next to me on the ground.
So here's the question: are we actually losing anything by doing this?
There is a primal part of humans, especially male humans. We like fire. We love
explosions.
Fire. And then explosions, right? That's why we like guns. Pop, pop, pop. And explosions and firecrackers. I was playing with firecrackers when I was before a teenager.
M80s.
Yeah. Not M80s. We didn't have those. My dad didn't confiscate any of those from school. He just confiscated firecrackers. So he brought those home. That's what we did.
Wow. I don't know. I get it. A lot of noise, a lot of smoke. There's always the odor. But it's Independence Day. It's not supposed to feel safe or optimized. It's a commemoration of rebellion and cannon fire. It's a commemoration of throwing off that thing. Now again, the drones can tell a story that the fireworks can't. Yeah. They can draw out the story in the sky. Yeah. They can create very complex imagery, and in theory, they could even look like fireworks. They could even do all that while being quieter and safer and blending music with narrative, at the show. I mean,
it's like listening to the 1812 overture, right? And how are you going to replace the cannons from that? We used to watch that at Stan State. They would do the 4th of July, and the orchestra would wrap up by playing the 1812 overture, and then actually the fireworks were timed with the explosion of that.
We've all seen that. Disney used to do that. But is this the next move for AI? Is this the next move of technology where we have these firework traditions and we replace it with, light shows in the sky? augmented reality. Maybe someday they give you goggles and say, watch it here.
They could. Or holograms, if they can ever figure that out.
It's a little unnerving. And yet at the same time, this is one of those things where, again, somebody's going to have to program this. Somebody's going to have to do this stuff. Somebody's going to have to create these Christmas lights that are controlled by apps. Somebody, me, is doing AI-generated holiday music, virtual fireworks, even augmented reality. Do we still call it that? I thought it was virtual reality.
Yeah, it's AR.
Yeah, AR celebrations. All of this stuff it's coming, folks. I can see a time where this is coming. Once upon a time, we celebrated freedom with, explosions. Now we're going to be celebrating it with software updates. Welcome back. I'm Rabbi Dan.
I am Friar Rod.
I started the show today by butchering the Vietnamese language when I said, "Jao ba I sang Vietnam."
Yeah.
And you looked at me like I was delusional.
That's normal, though.
So it turns out I was doing some research into things, because I do this.
Yeah.
And it
in
turns
your
out
copious free time because you're retired, as you remind me just about every day.
You should try it. It's great. I noted something about our show, and did you know that only in the last 90 days, only 60% of our audience is from America, the United States?
I didn't realize that.
Do you know what the number 2 country is? Not Hungary, by the way.
Really?
It is Vietnam.
I didn't know that.
15% of our audience is Vietnam. Now, I'm a skeptical kind of guy, but as it turns out, Vietnam, the nation of Vietnam, has a surprisingly large and active English learning audience online.
Okay.
That consumes podcasts, talk radio, conversational content gets consumed there as informal language practice. And two guys bantering on the microphones about weirdness in the modern world, may sound more authentic to them than polished English as a second language material.
Okay, yeah. I screw up all the time.
Yeah, Anyway, so we don't even need to, I didn't even need to say whatever it was I said.
Yeah.
How did I say that?
You could have just said, "Good morning, Vietnam."
I could have just said, "Good morning, Vietnam. How are you?" And they would have loved that because, hey, this guy's teaching us English. Now, it's weird to me because I grew up in an era when Vietnam was a bad word.
Yeah.
It's not anymore, which I think is one of the most fascinating elements of American society. My furniture in my living room is from Vietnam.
Well, hey, if someone over there wanted to sponsor our show and we could go over there for, a period of time and do our conversational show, come on, Dave.
No, I'm not going to Vietnam. Sorry.
Why is that?
Have you seen what they eat?
No.
Their food is just...
Well, now we're going to lose our listeners.
It's worse. Sorry, it's worse than Iran. I mean, I'm not eating that. Sorry.
I'm sure
Nothing personal.
McDonald's.
I'm an American. I grew up in America. I like my food a certain way. And,
I thought you were going to say something about the bathrooms. Is what I thought.
There's that. But there is that.
I'm sorry, Vietnam.
Now, before you get all excited and you go, well, this is great, and we start waving Vietnamese flags and celebrating all things Vietnamese, it's also possible that they're just routing a lot of traffic through Vietnam because there's a lot of server points there, server farms there, VPN endpoints.
Sure. Okay.
Bots that are content scraping. And
so it could be the Chinese listening to us through Vietnam.
Could be. It's one of several countries where there's low-cost hosting and traffic routing infrastructure is heavily used. If the audience number suddenly jumped and the engagement is shallow, short listenings, which it isn't, there are no comments. I don't know. We've been doing this for 6, going on 7 years now.
We have.
And I don't know what it is. People just don't interact with us. I mean, there's a few. There's maybe 4 or 5 people. We don't get a lot of interaction.
No.
So we don't get the likes. We don't get the shares. We don't care. I mean,
we're not doing this to make money, but we wish we could.
Right. But, it's not, it's about us, not you. Anyway, we may be looking at machine traffic wearing a conical hat. But it's also possible that one segment is getting reposted to Facebook or TikTok or something like that. AI, religion, politics, whatever, that are overseas that we don't see because basically I can tell you that on my Facebook page I basically ban everything that isn't North America or England or Europe. So I may not be seeing it. I don't know.
So it just occurred to me. So we're traveling the interwebs and we're traveling across the world, right, to the Vietnams and stuff. And there are inter-sea cables in the Straits of Hormuz, are there not?
I don't know.
I believe so. So we're actually there, Dave. You and I are we traverse the Straits of Hormuz.
It's certainly possible. It's also worth noting that Vietnam has a strong underground appetite for Western commentary that feels unscripted. That's important to understand. There is no AI here.
There is AI, but
there is, but
not in our banter. No.
And our What the Frock style sounds human. That's good to know. We sound human. And that matters much now. So, that's, I don't know, man.
I don't think AI could rabbit trail the way we do.
It'd be interesting to try and see, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be an interesting approach. But in the meantime, remember the eternal wisdom of the internet, which once said, all bases are belong to us. On that note, I'm Rabbi Dave.
I am Friar Rod.
And this has definitely not been an AI version of
What the Frock?
So grab your frog and come aboard. This nonsense can't be ignored. We joke, we gripe, we spin, we sing. While Rome burns on, we'll do our thing. What the frock is going on here? We may not know, but still we cheer. Raise your voice, your glass, your brow, because the frock is happening now.